Okay, it's Monday. Welcome back to another week of digital media, the only class in the world that covers audio, video production, brainstorming, everything that goes into the creative process. Well, this is something that actually applies to musicians and it applies to people that may be interested in the film side of things. And this is free writing. So a few weeks ago we did some brainstorming and talked about becoming an idea machine. And you may remember we just tried to come up with 10 ideas. Well, probably that's something we should do more often. And this is something we'll do for a little bit, but we won't do it all the time. So you can take it or you can leave it as we keep going. But we're going to spend a few minutes today doing this. And basically, the whole point is this is going to help us get our ideas flowing, just like the Become an Idea Machine. If you get used to doing this, then the idea of writing isn't so daunting, if you will. And in fact, writer's block, that you may call it, is maybe not a thing, actually. Okay, that's just a thought. So we're only going to spend a few minutes. This is suggesting we spend 15 to 20. We're going to spend about 5 minutes. And the idea is we're going to click start and we're going to go and we're just going to write down every idea that you can think of, no matter how crazy it seems. Don't worry about correct spelling or grammar. We do try to use complete sentences when we're free writing like this, and we don't try to stare at a blinking cursor, or we don't try to stare at our hand if we're going to try to write by hand. And really, this is up to you if you want to write it either way. I don't care anything that's in this. This is a Google Doc that I will never, ever look at. But you can see you can kind of stall as you come up for new ideas, that sort of thing. We are going to try this for 5 minutes, and if we're lucky, this is going to give us this flow of ideas that we're used to as we get into things. Now, if you're into music, maybe you're going to get into some song lyrics, or you may come up with something that speaks to you in that regard. And if you're into film, you may have an idea that's buried in one of these as a little nugget that you can take from it. If you're a performer and you start coming up with some rhymes, then all of a sudden you're going to go a different route with it than I will. So what I'm going to write about is completely different than what anyone else would write about, and vice versa. We're all over the place, and that's the beauty of this. So we're going to do some free writing today, and I will look forward to the ideas that come out of this later. Okay, so this is nothing that I'm not at all interested in seeing, hearing. You're on your own. But then once we get out of this, I'm going to say, hey, those ideas are starting to flow.